Hi and welcome to my playhouse, and today we have a sponsored video from a company called REDODO. They think it's very important for me to say that just exactly right, so we're gonna hear them say it first.
Hello, REDODO.
REDODO. REDODO.
REDODO.
REDODO. I hope that's right. But nevertheless, they wanted me to review one of their very large batteries, and this is a lithium iron phosphate. But this one is a little bit of a special one. It's 24 volts and 100 amp hours, so it's a beast. And yeah, I have something very special planned for this battery that you will see tomorrow for me, but in a few minutes for you. Let's have it out of the box and see what we're dealing with here. So this battery is manufactured in China, but this one arrived from their German warehouse. So that is that didn't take that long actually, and I was able to plan this perfectly with the company for my stay here in Portugal. So that worked out very nicely, I must admit. So yeah, you can do that as well. REDODO. There's links in the description where you can go and check this out. Prices, delivery, countries, might even be some good codes. Let's see. We have, oh, this is nice. Look at that. The manual and instructions comes in a plastic bag with a little zip tie where you can open and close it. I've never seen that before. That's a very nice detail. We'll have a look at this later. It says 25.6 volt, 100 amp hours, lithium iron phosphate battery. So my memory served me quite well, and that is LiFePo4. So we'll keep that for later. I see that there's something more here. Something there. What is that? That is curious. What can that be? Looks like it's the battery screws for connecting your yeah, okay, so it's terminal screws, and black and red for the pole. Tear me off. Why? I don't get it. Okay, but there is the very large battery. Looks very nice. And this side, it's not upside down, it's actually located correctly. So yeah, and this is about 21 kilograms, so it's one of the heavier ones, and the terminals are protected here, so shouldn't be able to do anything stupid right away. 24 volts is not enough to do any bad things on your skin, so that part is okay. Don't put your tongue on that. Let's lift this out of here, and to have the box come off. Oh. So this is what the big battery looks like, close up and personal, and it very clearly says what it can do here. It contains 2560 watt hours. That is quite a bit. So pretty nice. There is not a whole lot to it. It's a battery, and it doesn't really show the voltage or anything. It's some very colorful labeling that they have picked here. So apparently that might be their company slogan: younger, bolder and stronger. Younger, bolder, stronger. That's nice. So carrying handles, and yeah, I'm sure for the 21 kilograms this is very good. And you can remove this. I see you can disassemble it by taking this plastic thing out if you don't want that, and you can reattach it later. So that's a nice feature. So I think I'll go and get a multimeter and we'll see what kind of a charge this battery comes with. So a big battery like this is used for storing a lot of power. It's not used for small things, it's used for your house. So this is a perfect off-grid battery, and that is what we're going to be using it for. Not at my house, but I'm actually going to be giving this away to a friend of mine who is in such a power need that yeah, it's not even funny, but she has lead acid batteries and they are totally wasted. So I'm gonna go and we're gonna give her this, and she doesn't know it yet. But first let's measure the voltage. 24 volts is a good voltage for a house system. Oh, by the way, they have made these caps with a hole in them so that you can measure the voltage without removing them. That's a nice little safety feat. Oh, and they have made this multimeter that should turn off when you're not using it, so that's irritating. There, and it measures AC, and we need to set it to DC. Okay, I was rambling too much, so it turned off. So yeah, it comes 26.39 volts, so that is a good charge for traveling. We can go see the manual and see if this is normal. So let's see what kind of good information we get here. I like this plastic thing. I think I just might keep that myself. I need one of those. So there is some instructions here. We have English and we have it in, that looks German, DE, so that's probably German, and we have it in English, which is better for me. A bit, oh, it's, you bend it over like that. Okay, I was missing number 1 and number 2. It started with number 10, and on this next side it was number 3. So if I bend it, it starts with 1 and 2, and operating guide, product manual, carefully read through the operating guide, product manual before use, operating guide for beginners, yes. Due to shipping related restriction, the battery carries about 30 to 50% capacity when shipped, and it's recommended to please fully charge it. Yes. Operation for beginners, and there are some, they're trying to say that you should avoid touching the cables because you will make a short. Yeah, that's obvious. And you should wrap the terminals if they're not needed. Make sure the battery is properly wired to load. Do not reverse polarity. Yes. Do not mix it with other brands or different specification in series or parallel. Yeah, that's probably fine. And then we get to the long-term storage. If you're not gonna be using it, make sure to keep it in that temperature and charge it up every 3 months. Don't put it upside down, don't have fire next to it or water, and don't open it with a screwdriver. Yeah, don't disassemble it. They don't want you to do that. So let's see if we have we have 2 manuals, probably an English and a German one. So we'll put the German one to the side. Entschuldigung, German people. So here are all the specs of it in inches. I wonder if the German ones has centimeters. That might actually be more useful. It does. Oh, so I'm in real trouble here. There's a problem. The English one is in inches and the German one is in German but in millimeters. So yeah, okay. Didn't see that one coming. So it says operating voltage 25.6 volts. It has that capacity. Charging voltage 28.8 plus minus 4. Very nice. And there is how to connect everything. I am interested in the specs. There's a BMS in here to protect you against overcharge, undercharge, stuff like that, and I was wondering if there was any parameters of how that is configured. Normal capacity is 100 amp hours and usable capacity is 100 amp hours. I would have expected that to be lower than the other one. Charging method CC and CV. 28 recommended charging current 20 amps. Battery management system 100 amps, which means that the battery can supply 100 amps. Maximum continuous charge 100 amps, so they recommend 20 amps, but it can do 100 amps. And the discharge is also 100 amps, but it can do 280 amps for like 5 seconds. Okay, so those are good specs and good to know. And it says that if you're gonna store the battery, don't store it with over 50% charge. And okay, here's more info. Cool. Here are the stuff that I was interested in. Controller setting. Okay, that's not the battery BMS. That's what you're supposed to set your inverter to maintain this battery. Low voltage disconnect, low voltage reconnect. So yeah, those are good settings, and to ensure that the battery is long lasting. And there's a lot of good stuff in a manual like this. Here is when it's full and when it's empty. 0% 19 volt, 1% 21.6 recommended low voltage disconnect voltage. So apparently they say that you can run it all the way down to 1%. That is rather low. So, but as we had about 20, it seems like it must have been right around here, 26.39 volts. So it actually came more like 70, maybe 65% full when it came. Cool. How the batteries can be configured in series or in parallel. And more of that. Even more of that. Blah blah blah, lots of that. They really do want us to buy more of these. So inverter settings, we just saw those. And cool. So as said, I'm actually gonna be giving the battery away to my friend Cindy Vine, and she has today lead acid batteries, and they are failing. They have indeed lived a hard life for the last 2 years, but she does not know that she's getting a replacement. So I'm gonna be moving the big battery over here in the back of this tiny Fiat. That's the cheapest car you can rent. And yeah, I'm cheap like that, so yeah, let's do that. Yeah, lots of room for a big battery in the back of this Fiat. It's tiny. Well, it doesn't sit very well. There's something underneath it. Well, I'm sure it's gonna be fine. So it has to look good. I'm gonna have Cindy open this and see her new battery. Okay, now I'm at Cindy's place, and Cindy is about to tell me about her solar power problems, because it's an endless story, right?
I don't know, and these problems all started after the solar panel, that one got smashed. And so what happened is that the power was lasting. It would start beeping during the night, and then it would go out maybe 7 o'clock in the morning, and then it would come on by itself again at 9 o'clock when the sun was above. And then it started cutting out during the night. And then it started, so slowly it's been like building up, until it got to the stage where the solar is only working from 9 in the morning or 9:30 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon.
Okay.
And then it cuts out.
Can we go see the batteries?
Yeah. And so people started saying that it's not the solar power, it's the batteries. But the thing is, what I don't understand is that when I start the generator. I just have to run the generator for 2 hours, and then I get almost 12 hours of
battery power.
Overnight when there's no solar. Very weird.
Now Cindy is gonna try and turn the generator on. See if one pole.
Until I win the lottery, I'm going to have to just use the solar that comes during the day and run the generator when the power goes out every night. That's how I'm going to have to carry on.
Yeah, it's quite an expense to replace all of this. Oh, and by the way, this is Louise, and Louise has a YouTube channel, and it's called
Solo 50 Plus Portugal, but I'm not necessarily vlogging much at the moment.
Oh, she's vlogging. It's very fun to watch Louise's channel. She gets disturbed really easily. That's amusing. It's like,
I'm getting a bit of a reputation for this.
Yeah.
What?
She's the woman when you call squirrel, and she will be way off. So I've told Cindy that I have a bit of a surprise in the back of the tiny Fiat. So let's see if she can figure out how to open a tiny Fiat.
I must open it up.
Yeah, it's in the back.
It's like this. I hope it's not another pig.
It's not another pig.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
This is from the company REDODO. I messed that up already, but yeah, this has been planned for a month, and this company agreed that I could review their battery and give it to you. A month ago.
Oh my god!
So I think we should go and try and put that in and see what happens.
Oh my god! How did you keep the secret?
I'm very good at that.
He is. God, you got to watch him all that time working on that. No.
Yeah, and he pretending when he had a blooming battery.
It arrived yesterday.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if it would be here in time, but it did. So
oh my goodness.
Try and lift it. It's not even that heavy. It's heavy, but it's not that heavy.
Oh wow. Okay, right. Oh.
Okay, we need the wheelbarrow.
Yeah. Well, let me go and get the other wheelbarrow over there, so that we don't have to carry it.
I think it has handles. We can do that.
We can carry it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's even got handles!
It's so pretty!
It's got handles!
It's very colorful, right?
Beautiful!
Wow! Oh my goodness!
Now I have disconnected the solar panels, and I'm about to disconnect the batteries. We have shut off the inverter up here, so there's an order to this. To disconnect an inverter, you have to disconnect the power coming into it first, then shut off the inverter, and then disconnect the power bank. And when you connect it again, it's the opposite order. You have to connect the batteries first, then turn on the inverter, and then turn on the solar panels. That should be the right order. And it also says that in the manual, if you skim that. Okay, this was an easy swap over. I for sure need to go together with Cindy to get some better cables for her. These are not 100 amp rated cables. The inverter up here can do 2400 watts, and to do 2400 watts with 24 volt batteries you need 100 amps, and yeah, 30-40 amps would be fine for this, but yeah, we need better cables, also just to improve the performance of, yeah, you get a lot of losses in way too thin cables. Plus, if she was actually gonna draw 2400 watts for an extension of time, it would be bad. But I have taken the connections from the lead acid batteries and we'll put them on to the lithium iron phosphate battery, and we have turned on the inverter. So now I think we should go and turn on the solar panels. So here we are underneath the solar panels, and we need to connect them again. I disconnected them 2 places just to make sure. There, we should have power coming in again. Let's go check that. So right now we are pumping in about 14 or so 15 amps directly to the battery, which is now that one. And that's twice as much as the lead acid batteries was taking in.
Yeah.
And up here we are pumping in about 560 watts, which is probably about right if we look at the weather.
Yeah.
We don't have full sun, we have some thin clouds.
So that means that it's now charging the batteries as well as running the power.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And we need to charge it up on a good charge, so we have to be saving power all day, but it's going to be easier to charge it up now that it's taking in like 16 amps. So
okay.
It was at 40% ish. So what is that? That's like 60 amp hours we need to put in, so that's 4 hours of charging.
Wow.
So this is YouTubers at work.
Unbelievable.
I have been through the manual here of the inverter charger, which Cindy has. She has a specific model in here, and I've went through the menu of all the settings and have pointed out what the settings was with a little arrow here and what the new setting is gonna be. So it was set to utility first, which means that the generator was the priority. Now it's gonna be the solar. I don't know why the generator was the priority, but yeah. And it was set to weirdly enough, it was set to 120 amps charging. Now it's gonna be 60 amps, which is in the middle of what this charge controller can do. So that was kind of a weird one. So I'm just gonna go through these, so my documentation is on film. Sorry about this, you are just witnessing a photocopy here. So yeah, there's a lot of settings in an inverter like that. A lot of them I didn't change, a lot of them were fine, so I didn't need to do anything there. And that was the end. There was a lot of settings in that inverter that wasn't really documented in the manual, which was irritating. And of course I have been using the manual for the batteries and getting the charger and discharge voltages correctly there as well. So this is doing extremely well right now. Actually, these cables, besides being too thin, they're really high quality Teflon cables. They are cool. So let's see how the charge controller is behaving. AC, nothing. We're getting 100 volts in from the panels. 27 amps going in right now. 739.40. That's very, very good. We haven't seen this good numbers before. And the battery is at 27.6. That's the charge current. If it's disconnected, it will drop down quite a bit. I'm also sure that there is a power loss in these cables because they are so thin. I think that's about there's not really much of a load right here. There's zero load, so which is a good thing because now we're charging the batteries. So awesome. So I'm gonna end the video here. I was very happy to get this battery from REDODO. Links are in the description for you to go and check this battery out, and I'm sure that Cindy is gonna have a lot of good use of it because her other battery system has been acting up for at least a month. And funny enough, that's also just about the amount of time that I have been negotiating with REDODO on this project to give Cindy this. And her old battery system had, well, it's not totally failed, but it's totally screwed. So it just adds up all of it. But links are in the description, go check them out. They have a lot of different batteries. They have 12 volt, 24 volts and 48 volts, different capacities. If you're in need of this kind of batteries, well, it's definitely a brand that you should go check out and have in consideration for your purchase. So other than that, I think I'll just say thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again, and have a really nice day. Bye bye.